candy. Candy for the ears. And what you said was at the beginning of your song, that's it. That is it. That is the most challenging relationship, that one with self, right? That's why this is. It's like, here it is. It's who? Me? Love? Also, who? Love? Me? Really? That's what I have to do? Yes. That's what we have to do. That's the goal. That's the journey. And you know, outside ourselves, it ain't that hard. I mean, oh, look at that sun. This morning, one of our friends here sent us a picture of the sunrise. It was so beautiful. And there was a high tension telephone pole off in the distance at the top of the picture, so it looked like a cross at the sunrise. It was just beautiful, you know. Oh, I love that picture. Hot day in August, and you're doing work in the yard, and your loved one comes out and says, honey, here's some ice cold iced tea. Ooh, I love that iced tea. It's August, it's hot. That felt so good. Going to Mammoth, ski. Oh, and the snow in Mammoth this year, wow, record numbers. Yes to the snowpack. I used to go up there and ski, and all day, just freeze. I'd stay up there all day out there skiing. I didn't learn to ski till I was 33. That's another story. I'll tell you that one in a minute. But at the end of the day, we go to the hot tub, and I used to love to get out of the hot tub and fall into the snowbank. You know, right? Anybody ever do that? You don't know how to ski if you haven't done that. That is the most awesome feeling. Your body is like hot because you've been in the hot tub, right? And you just feel yourself melting into the snow. Oh my God, it feels good. It feels so good. You don't even know you're cold for like 5 minutes. Then you're so cold, but there's the tub. Boom, you jump back in. You're ready to go. Yeah. I learned how to ski when I was 33 years old. And a friend of mine took me up skiing. You'll love it. You'll love it. I go, okay. I'll teach you how. Okay. Just do the snowplow thing. Okay. You know, so I'm doing the snowplow, and here she is. She's been skiing since she was like 3. So I'm snowplowing down the hill, and she's skiing backwards, these circles around me going, oh, you're doing good. You're doing great. I said, you know what? If you don't get out of here, I went down to Bobbly Hill. I got me a ski instructor. I'm not going through this mess. No way. No, you're doing great. Stop it. But those kind of loves are really, really easy. Then we get this instruction. Little Bible time. Luke 10:27. Thou shalt love the Lord God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy strength, with all thy mind. Right? Okay. Then they throw this other line on you, and then Jesus drops it down on you. And love your neighbor as thyself. Doggone it. Love your neighbor as thyself. Now I ask you, think about the world today. Think about the world today. Yes, there's a lot of good going on in the world. I am not denying that. I am not a person who thinks the world is in total chaos and trouble. No. But you cannot deny the fact that there's a lot of dissension going on in the world today. There's a lot of areas where people are not loving their neighbor. I'm thinking maybe it's what Jamie was talking about. It's what I experienced in my own life. It's what many of us have experienced, particularly those that get the kick in the butt through the 12-step program and say, you really need to figure this out. I don't think that there's enough of us loving ourselves. If there were more of us truly loving ourselves, our neighbors would not be in much trouble because we would not be able to treat them the way we are treating them because we wouldn't treat ourselves that way. But maybe somewhere deep down inside, we are treating ourselves in such a way that it is being reflected back to us in the way our neighbors are experiencing their lives. So it seems like maybe, just maybe something's broken. There's a broken thing going on. But don't get all down in the dumps about it, because you know what? Stuff that's broken is pretty cool. Like if you want to plant something in your yard, you got to break the soil to put the seeds in. And the soil The seed has to break through the soil in order to grow. You want to make some bread, you got to break the grain. You want to have some rain, you got to break the cloud. The cloud literally has to break down for there to be rain. Broken things are not so bad. Emerson says there's a crack in everything. There's a crack in everything. You know, we all have a story. We all have our story, and I'm thinking that maybe it's time to let our story go, you know, because we all have a story, and when you really get down to it, your story is not all that interesting anyway. It's really not, because my story is more interesting. Don't we all go through that? Like somebody's telling us their story, and we're like going, I know just what you mean. We can't even wait to get that line out of our mouth. I know just what you mean, because your story ain't, my story is, whoa, you know? No, let's all let go of our story, all realize that we're cracked, and we all got some broken stuff going on, and take that journey from here to here, and get down into our heart, and start really loving ourselves. Get rid of the yeah buts, the doubts and the judgments about ourselves, the discernments that say I'm not this and I'm not that. Okay, you know what? Here's what you got to do. First, you got to own it. You got to own what's going on for you, and then once you own it, it doesn't own you anymore. See, if we're in denial that there's something going on with us that's not quite right, and it's so easy to do that in science of mind. I'm whole, perfect, and complete. God, I hate that Ernest Holmes ever came up with that one. Next time I get Ernie on the phone, I'm going to be talking to him about that. Whole, perfect, and complete. Well, how do I get to fix myself if I'm whole, perfect, and complete? It's the IKEA thing, you know, the IKEA thing, right? We talked about this before. Remember the IKEA thing? You go to IKEA, you get the box. You get the bookshelf. Everything is there. The bookshelf box is all whole, perfect, and complete. It's all right there. Every item. You lay them all out on the floor. You put the bookshelf together. It's looking pretty good, sort of, and there's 2 screws left over on the floor over here. Because we didn't read the instructions. We just started putting the thing together. That's whole, perfect, and complete. There's your demonstration of your life. Get those 2 screws, the broken things, the crack in yourself, and put them into the bookshelf so it'll stand up tall and right and be useful the way it's supposed to be, the way we are supposed to be. That's what it's all about. There's this great guy I ran into. I never knew about this guy before. Vance Havner. Have you ever heard of him? He's this gospel fundamentalist preacher. He was like, Oral Roberts used to just lay at this guy's feet and just listen to him. And, you know, I take my wisdom wherever I can find it and make it my own to the best of my ability and my understanding of it. And I love this one. He says, it is the broken alabaster box that gives forth the perfume. There's perfume in each and every one of us. And it's our broken parts that allow that fragrance to break through. When you pick a flower or like mint, how many of you love mint? Like mint, right? What's the best way to enjoy the mint? Scrush it down. Squish that stuff up. See, so all this stuff that we're working on, we're supposed to work on. Be grateful that you got stuff to work on so your perfume, your fragrance can light up the world. That's what we're trying to do here. And that's the journey of loving ourselves. And when we do that, the rest of the world gets a whole lot better, and they don't even know how. It's something that we did just for ourselves. Rumi's got it right. He says, the wound is the place where light enters you. And that's deep. And notice he capitalized the L. It's the divine light. It's where spirit enters you. It's where our wounds. And we're so ready to just run past them and quick fix them, drop a pill, see the psychologist, fix this, you know. I want it done right now. Maybe we should sit with our stuff for a little bit and let it stew. You know, Johanna's been making these soups, and she makes them on Saturday, not because there's no time. We can wake up early Sunday morning to make them. No, it's because it's better when it sits overnight and all the juices get together, you see. And that's our life. Sometimes it's better to sit with our stuff. We're so ready to shake it off. And again, science mind, we want to, you know, we even do it here. We're guilty of it. What do we call our prayers at the end of the service? 1 minute miracles. We want 1 minute. Fix me right now. No. I mean, that's great. I'm not saying we should wallow in it. I'm not talking about that. Remember I said, once you recognize it, it doesn't own you anymore, and then you have control over it. I'm just talking about a process that can lead us to a place where we can turn to love ourselves, where we can let our light shine through by not blocking ourselves out from the fact that there's stuff to work on. I'm talking about a way that we can step into our wholeness, because denial, yuck, it's yucky. You get stuck when you're in denial. You know, the joy is in finding ourselves, and in finding ourselves, we find our true love. See, I want to be comfortable in my own skin on a regular basis. It's why I love, I'm not trying to turn this into a 12-step meeting at all, but I just love that step 4 and 5. And if you're not familiar with it, it's take a personal inventory, and then 5 is to tell somebody about it. And don't tell the person who's going to go, oh yeah, I know just what you're talking about. No, not that person. We're talking about the person who's going to go, yeah, I get that. Thank you for sharing that. Because we are relational, individualized expressions of the divine, and we're not supposed to go through this and carry it all on our own. That's the part about loving the neighbor as thyself. The neighbor is a really important aspect. That's why Jesus didn't leave that part out. So share it with that loving neighbor, what's going on for you, after you take that personal inventory of what's going on for yourself and move beyond. Because, if you just step in the halfness of life, your half measures are not going to get you there. It's got to be a full expression of going on and a full acceptance of who and what you are. I'm thinking about this girl. She's like 14 years old, and all the kids on the block teased her. Oh, you so ugly, you this. They were cruel to this woman. Cruel. But she recognized that there was some element in her, some desire in her to lead and to step tall and to really nurture that understanding that, yeah, okay, so I'm not the prettiest girl on the block, but I got some smarts up here, and I can figure things out, and I know how to help people. And so she studied and nurtured that part of herself, and you know who this turned out to be? Gold in my ear. Gold in my ear. You see? Ernest Holmes says, even if our hearts condemn us, we know that the Spirit, which gave the heart, is greater than its gift. Now, the Spirit is within us. Okay, we have the heart. It came to us. But there's something even greater than that heart sense within us. There's this knowledge that there is this light within us that is wanting to escape. And it has to escape through our self-love and our self-acceptance of who and what we are as we step fully into our wholeness. And a big step of that is to meet our troubles face to face and do our own work at moving beyond what those troubles are. Our own work before we then let our beauty out. There was a science class, and a kid thought it would be a great extra credit assignment if he could bring in a chrysalis. So he brought in this chrysalis, and the biology teacher hung it in the classroom with a light on it, and the kids watched it every day, and they were waiting and waiting and watching and watching. And one day during recess, a kid came in, and the butterfly had begun to come out, and it was struggling to get out, and it was beautiful to watch. But he felt his heart reached out for the butterfly, and he thought, oh my God, he got some scissors and he snipped at the chrysalis, and it fell out. And there it was with its wings not quite open, and its half butterfly body and the other half not quite fully formed, and it never flew. It never even lived because it didn't get to push and pull and struggle and fight its way out of the chrysalis, because that's part of the process of the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. That fight, part of our process of becoming our butterflies, is that fight with our wounds, a fight with those parts of ourselves that we don't want to accept, that we want to look back on and go, no, I got that covered. I dealt with that long ago. No. I have talked about this for a long time. Before I got into ministry even, I thought that selfishness got a bad rap. And one day I was digging through some of the back boxes at Founders looking for some papers that around the mortgage or something for Founders. And I looked up, and there was this book by a guy named David Seabury called The Art of Selfishness. And I went, whoa, let me check that out. And he talks about this idea that, if we're going to really be our full expressions, we have to be somewhat selfish, not egotistical, not egomaniacal, but in the space of loving ourselves so much that we put ourselves first, which is very much the airplane thing. Put the oxygen mask on before you help somebody else. Love yourself first. And what he says in one of the articles of that book is the way to meet your troubles is to cease perverting your personality and release your latent capacity. And I thought, cease perverting your personality? I'm not a pervert. No, pervert, to turn away from what is your right course. That is to pervert, to turn away from what is your right course, to make an improper use of your skills and your talents and abilities. That is perversion. To live less than or below your level of expectation. This is perversion. We don't want to live a perverted personality that turns away from our right course, that doesn't live up to our wholeness and to our fullness, that makes an improper use of our talents and our skills. No, we want to let go that latent capacity. We want to let go that which is not visible, let go that which is unconscious, that which is remaining dormant. And it begins by looking at the wound, looking at the crack, and letting the light shine through. That's the big step. That's the journey from the head to the heart. That's the 9-inch journey that's going to be just challenging for so many people. But that's what we get to do. And what's not, or in this case, who's not to love? I mean, look at us. Look around at the people here. Really, just take a look around at the lovely people that are here with us today. Is there anybody in here, anybody that you would not feel that energy with? We got some loving souls in here. And this looking that we're doing with each other, because we're somewhat familiar with each other, it's easy to do, it's easy to smile. But if we give that same look to the other out in the world, you know, there's nothing out there that's not to be loved, including the look that we give ourselves every morning when we look into the mirror. I challenge you this week. I did it this morning when I was shaving. I almost cut myself. Just looking at myself, eyeball to eyeball, into the mirror. Got a little smile on my face. It was really a nice moment. I don't do that very often. Shave 3 times a week. I'm blessed. I only have to shave 3 times a week. Yeah. But on those 3 times, I do not look myself in the eye. I'm looking at my chin, I'm looking at my cheek, I'm looking at the razor. But this morning, I looked myself in the eye. And I saw what my beloved sees when she looks at me in the eye. I think, I'll check with you later. But it felt pretty good. I accepted myself, warts and all the wrinkles of all the years. And the smile lines and the memories came flying through. A couple of gray hairs, slightly receding hairline, somewhat thinner up here. I took all of that in. And said, "You're a cute little devil, you." See, we are here. I love this Christian term that they talk about, the victory. We're here for the victory. We're here to win at this thing called life. Dr. Holmes called it good. Emma Curtis says there's good enough and you ought to have it. In the Christian philosophy, they call it the victory. But that's what we're here for. Buzz Lightyear, infinity and beyond. That's our journey, you see? Dr. Holmes says, in that inner sanctuary of our own nature, hidden perhaps from objective gaze, nestles the seed, perfection. Every one of us has that seed. And it's about cracking it open, allowing the perfume to come out. So you can answer these questions. Who? You. Love? Yes. Me? Yes. Yes. And so it is. So that brings us to the affirmation. You see how that works? Here we go. Let's do it. Yes, me love. I hold myself in unconditional loving arms, grateful for the lesson and the blessing. Yeah, powerful stuff. All righty, let's do some prayer work. It did, huh? If Are you okay? Can you handle it? Come on, John. It's always wonderful to bring just a little levity to this moment because it's really a heartfelt moment, and I want to do as we did last week. Let's get the names back out into the world, okay? Let's do that. I'm going to start off because I really want moms on my heart right now. So Patricia Ellsworth and Patricia and Michael. Let's hear them. Dodger. Mm. 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 That's love, my friends. So feeling that love in this moment and knowing that that is the divine expressing through each and every one of us, that our hearts are open and our minds are willing and our bodies are ready. So we step right now into this moment of prayer knowing that there is action that follows our intention, and that action and that intention is fueled by a divine loving substance, a power and an energy greater than we are, which is available to us in each and every moment of our lives. And by speaking our word and holding our intentions in this moment, we have made that energy our own, and we have put it into action and expression through the thoughts, the ideas, the names, and the intentions set forth. So we're calling out right now for divine right action, perfect love, harmony, joy, levity, healing, guidance, perfect employment, skillful speech, loving acceptance, open ears, compassionate hearts, food for the belly, money for the pocket, and enough to share, prosperity and abundance with unlimited amounts, living like the universe itself. We are expanding into higher realms of good in each and every moment. And we begin it right here, right now, with each and every one of us, stepping fully into the love of self so that we have love to give and more to share. I'm so grateful for this moment of blessing. I am so grateful for the lessons of life that bring us to this space of deep gratitude and understanding that life is good, that our story is wonderful, and we get to rewrite it every single day. Look yourself in the eye and say, I love you, the way the universe loves you back. With a heart that is full and a mind that is centered on gratitude, I accept this prayer for each and every one of us, and I release it now into that perfect law which has only one answer. Yes, my beloved, it is my good pleasure to give you the kingdom. And so it is.